Well, good afternoon, YouTube. This is Chuck, and it's Sunday, May 11th, 2025, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've got a little treat for you. Another little windshield tour. We got to talk a little bit about the history. This is a little out-of-the-way place called Pinos Altos. And let's walk across the street over here if I can get across the road without getting run over. This isn't a real busy road. This is New Mexico State Route 15. And Pinos Altos is just up the road a little bit north of Silver City on the way up into the mountains. And I don't know a whole lot of the history about it, but there's a historical marker right up here, and I'm going to show that to you, and we'll let them do the talking. And then they got a real quaint little loop road through here, and I'm going to take you on that next. Here it says, Pinos Altos. Once the seat of Grant County, Pinos Altos survived conflicts with the Apache. A gold discovery in 1860 by 349ers from California stimulated a boom that led to the establishment of this mining camp, which produced over $8 million of gold, silver, copper, lead, and zinc before the mines played out in the 20th century. It's like a lot of little mining towns around here. So let's go over here and get in the truck, and we'll take you on a windshield tour. You can see we're about 1,000 feet higher than Silver City here, and we're actually up in the pines. That's where the name comes from. All right. Got a truck coming here. First thing I'm going to show you up here. I was up here years ago on a motorcycle, and I remember the fire station. It's right up here. It's just a precious little thing, right there. And you know, I always got to show you the fire station. It's all antique looking, and like the adobe walls, and there's even an RV park right here, although I have to tell you it doesn't look like much. And we've stayed in worse. But we're gonna come back on this road, but we're gonna go down this way through the old historic part of Pinos Altos, New Mexico. You want to find a place to get away from it all, I think this might be the place. I like that stone wall. And old historic houses. I don't know what that used to be, but I don't think it's always been a house. Look at the adobe wall here, right here in the corner. Isn't it something? It easily looks like it could be over 100 years old. It probably is. That or somebody took an awful lot of time to try to make it look 100 years old. Think of the little alien guy over there. This is, folks, is downtown Pinos Altos. Look at that pick sticking out of the rock there. Old looking buildings. That one it says the Buckhorn Saloon. Pinos Altos Museum and Gift Shop. This is the kind of stuff you see a lot in rural New Mexico. It says 1860 on that sign back there. This Highway 15 goes about another 35, 40 miles or so back up this direction, and it goes to the Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument and ends right at the wilderness area. And this is big time mountain country up in here, folks. And there's two very large wilderness areas in here. One's called the Gila Wilderness, and the one next door to it's called the Aldo Leopold Wilderness. And of course, Aldo Leopold was a well-known old environmentalist way back in the day when people didn't even know how to spell that. Look at this place here. Isn't that gorgeous? We got an old VW van there. Now we're up in Ponderosa. We're in Ponderosa pine country here. Another nice house up there. That almost looks like a fire station. I don't know if it is or not, but it doesn't say anything on it that it is. It kind of looks like one to me. New Mexico's known for these real narrow roads. And there's a motel. If you want to get away from things, this is the place to do it. Look at that place. Okay, so now we're back to Highway 15. Like I say, that goes on over the mountain and goes up to the Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument and a place called Mimbres Valley. There's another road that you can take a big circle and come back out that. But we're going to make this turn. And come back and see the other part of Pinos Altos. Ponderosa pines make it look just like back home. An old building over there, an old house. There's somebody's got a bad case of the collector bug. Looks like something I'd do, you know. Look at all this stuff here. That old house over there. And even their new house, I guess where they live, looks like it's kind of a make-do outfit too. And here's another old-looking house. And right up here, look at that guy over there. I don't know who, that's supposed to be Michael the Archangel or who that's supposed to be, but isn't that thing gorgeous? He took a lot of time and effort to put that thing together. And up here's the cemetery. And you can tell by the size of the cemetery, there were a lot of people lived here over the years. There's a lot of them are still here. A lot of times you can get a real good feel for what a community looks like by just looking at how they take care of their cemetery. Look back over there. It goes back there quite a ways. There's some people paying their respects. Holy Cross Mission. Can't even hardly see it, we're so close to it. Quite a few homes scattered back in these hills, and I don't know how many people live here, but I think if you add the population that lived back in the hills, here's another, look at that old house. They've been there a long time. I think if you probably add all the people that live back in the hills here, there's probably not a significant population, but probably more than you'd think there would be. $7,000 foot up here. I imagine they get quite a bit more snow than they do down at Silver City. Bear Creek, I guess that little creek we crossed a little bit ago. We're back the intersection where we turned around at, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let this run down the highway, down the road here back towards Silver City, because it's a pretty spectacular drive. I'm going to pull over up here and let this, there's a car behind me and I don't want to slow anybody up, so we get up here by the fire station, I'll pull over and give you another look at that quaint building and how well they take care of it. That thing is just gorgeous. We're clear again, so this actually, let's say the Continental Divide here runs right through town. Here's where we started our little video, right here. We're actually, now we're on the east, actually on the east side of the Continental Divide. So this little stream right next to us, if you follow it far enough, it'll go clear to the Atlantic Ocean. Probably from here, it'll probably go to the Rio Grande and go to the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America or whatever they're calling it these days. There you can look out across the flat country in front of us. You can see some dust in the air because the wind's been blowing a little bit. Notice we dropped out of the pines already and we're back down in the Pinon Juniper Highlands. And my truck's just telling me I need to put gas in it one of these days. That's part of what I'm going to do while I'm out today. We got to head back home tomorrow. So I wanted to get out and shoot one more video for you before we leave. There to the west. I don't know if I can show it to you or not, but there was a view a little bit ago, but way over there you can see through the trees there's another mine complex over there, and that's one of the two mines that provide a lot of the jobs for Silver City. The whole Silver City area up here. Right directly just to the left of here, you can see kind of to the left of the roadway there in the distance, you see the hill the hills look kind of a lighter color, and that's the other tailing pile, the other mine down near Tyrone. Not really a tailing pile, it's the outflow waste from the crusher is what it actually is. Yeah, you'll be able to see that much better as we get around this corner up here. Yeah, it's right over there, about the center of the picture. This side of that mountain on the horizon. But we're not looking at ugly old mining stuff. We're looking at pretty hills and this little stretch right in here heads due west, so I got you into the sun a little bit. There you're starting to see the buildings of Silver City down in the valley ahead of us there. It's the end of the mountains here. If you look off there in the distance, there's just a big flat open area with little hills here and there. There you're starting to be able to see Silver City over there. See houses off that direction, and just right there. We're back in Silver City. I'm going to let this run till we get back to US 180. There's a couple things I can show you. I like that house across the way over there with that Pueblo style construction or New Mexico style construction. I always like that. We're coming up on a four-way stop. That building right over there, Silver City Fire Department Station 2. Their training ground. You can see their training tower. Down, if we were to turn right here, we'd go on that street up there. It goes up by the hospital and the high school. And I mentioned before that the locals just call this place Silver, and the high school is actually not called Silver City High School. It's actually called Silver High School, and the school system called the Silver Public Schools. Haven't even driven on this part of on this road before. I came in off a side road, so not even sure what I'm showing you here. Except there's where they park all the school buses. It's a four-way stop. I believe we gotta go this way. Yep. There's the New Mexico Highway 15 sign. Across the valley, it's kind of into the sun, but across the valley you can see the university buildings that I showed you on my other windshield tour. Looks like this is kind of a little more industrialized area. Oh, we're back to the highway already. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull right into the Chevron here and get some fuel. Couple of vans there. What let me do, I'm going to pull right over here. You guys don't need to watch me put fuel in my truck, so let me just pull over here and let's wrap this one up. And I'll tell you, as I always do, take care of each other and love each other. I hope you like that little windshield tour of Pinos Altos, New Mexico, and State Highway 15 back down into Silver City. And I'll be back again with you with another one and get you on a different subject. And of course, we'll be going back to Arizona tomorrow. So let me give you another look at that US 180 and hotel across there, and Domino's here across the street. And give you a shot of that station, and until I talk to you again, just tell you peace out.